to mess with the spectral quality of one particular section of a drum loop, for instance. And what I wanted to do here was create the Slushy effect, so that you could isolate a particular sound group and then sort of change the spectral dynamics of it. And of course, one of the great tools for that is image spectral dynamics. So first I'll show how it sounds with that, but I'll show how it sounds without it. So just messing around real quickly, you can see that I got a pretty decent quality way to finesse that hi-hat, because what I was targeting, I forgot to mention, is the hi-hat. Because hi-hat really plays a pivotal role with everything. I mean, it's just really remarkable. But anyway, so I used the denoiser, and then I just isolated the hi-hat so that it was playing over and over again. And then I just sort of changed the threshold up and down. And maybe I messed with the tone a little bit and the dry wet a little bit. And you just sort of change these parameters until you find what you're looking for. Alright, so that's one way to mess with one particular sound or one particular frequency spectrum in a drum loop. So another way is also really cool, and I got kind of a better result from it, I think. But it's a different quality result, and it's another one of those things where you could really fine-tune everything and sort of readjust and regenerate the entire thing. It's pretty remarkable. So here is the same with this MXXX, but this time I'm using a transformer, but it's only in the higher section. So with this one, it's a very subtle difference, and I'll do an A-B real quick, but it's a very subtle difference, and that's kind of more what you would go after. And there's so many things you can do to mess with where the crossover lands. So it would change the character of what you're sort of smearing up. You're making slushy into that hi-hat intentionally. So you're taking the bite off of it to make it less harsh, basically. And then if you didn't want to do such a drastic effect, you would of course mess with the dry wet. And then other things you could do to tighten up that sound is use another plugin on top of this to change the transient effect so it's sharper in terms of its decay. It's got a faster decay. So anyways, here's a quick before and after. Here's the bite of the hi-hat without any of this stuff. So you can hear it's much sharper, and the sound of the snare is, you know, really bright and sharp. Now engaging it, and when you engage it, you can see that the snare has kept a lot of its quality, which is kind of the point of using the multi-band crossover system to target. And the actual plugin that I used to do this was the Transform plugin.